What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jukutzz, and I'm back at you with another video, man. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm just going to be talking a little bit about my testimony and how I got to where I'm at right now, and why I decided to become a barber stylist and a YouTuber. So stay tuned for all the juicy stuff. Okay, man, let's get right into it, man. I was born on May 1st, 2000. I'm 20 years old currently. You guys know that I am a barber stylist. And what does that mean? That means that I am not just a barber. I don't just cut hair. I color hair. I do everything that involves a stylist as well. You know, washing hair. You know, like in the traditional barbershop, you don't see a lot of people washing hair before they cut it, and that's a huge important step in cutting hair nowadays. So, when I was 2 years old, my dad passed away, and that took a really heavy toll on my life. You know, not having that presence of a man to teach you things. Only man I had was my grandfather. And he got very old, and when I turned 12, he passed away. That was in 2012. I go with the year, so like 2020, I was 20. 2021, I'm gonna be 21, you know, so I go with the year. So in 2012, my grandfather died. I was 12 years old, and I was really lost. Fell into this depression as a 12-year-old, just couldn't know how to, you know, cope with it. And that was my first real loss as a pre-teenager, I guess, and into that teenage phase, and that really hurt me for a while. When I turned 14, I decided to go to military school. Why did I decide to go to military school? I don't know. My guess is as good as yours, guys. I mean, well, I wanted to be in the Marines, I guess you could say. I don't know, I just thought it was a super cool thing, you know. I was playing Call of Duty and stuff, and just having that title of, you know, the few, the proud, you know, that really resonated with me. So, yeah, that's that. When I turned, well, you know, I played football in high school and stuff, and that led me to college or whatever. So sophomore year, I started getting good at football. Junior year, started getting better. Senior year, I was at my best, I would say. And then I was getting ready to sign the papers to go off to the Marine Corps. I was 18 at the time. Staff sergeant hits my phone. He's like, "Hey man, we really want you, blah blah blah, blase blase, whatever a recruiter says to you to get you to freaking join the military." Besides that, I was just like, the only reason that I'm not signing these papers is because I just got this scholarship to go play football at a private school. So I went off to St. Ambrose University. Thought that as an 18-year-old, I had it all figured out, when obviously I didn't. I went to study. I really didn't know what I wanted to study, but I went off to study human performance and fitness, thinking that I would be a trainer or some type of OT, PT type doctor and stuff. And that didn't work out because I hate school. Why did I do it? I guess I did it for the experience. I didn't know that's why I was doing it at the time. I just had this freaking preset notion that I was going to be the first one in my family to finish 4 years of college. And I still feel like I could do that, but right now it's not on the top of my list, you know. So besides that, I went off to college. I started doing a lot of bad things, getting involved with drugs, alcohol, and I really lost myself in the process, you know. And I'm a very, very spiritual person, and with my family, you know, my family's very spiritual. So when God says to, you know, wake up, or he lets me knock my head a few times before he shows me, you know, like you have to let someone continuously bump their head like a child. You let them bump their head until they learn, right? So God, he knocked me on my butt, made me realize what was going on. I had a really bad experience with the drug, and that scared me away from school, which was a good thing, because school wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to play football, and that's what I did. So I played football, got that experience, and it just didn't work out for me. I failed out the first semester I was there. Then I got back in with an appeal. Dumb decision, because now I'm in debt, but we ain't talking about that right now. And then I dropped out in my second year. The first semester of my second year, I dropped out and I left. And I was just lost, man. I'm a 19-year-old in Chicago, Illinois, trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do in my life, right? So it's like December, I start trying to apply for music school, because music's a big one of my passions. You know, art is my biggest passion. It doesn't matter what type of art, music, poetry, drawing, painting, freaking camera photography, everything, videography, everything. Art is my freaking muse, man. So besides that, music, you know, and stuff like that. Yeah, so I tried to put it into music, and I just didn't see myself making any money doing that. So I didn't want to stay stagnant for too long, and in December of 2019, my mom bought me my first pair of clippers, which were these cheap little Walmart clippers with a Walmart trimmer, and they were a wall brand. And the color, you know, the color guard system, that's the one that I started with and stuff. It's one that a lot of people start with, and some people actually continue to still use. I know one barber who's been cutting for years with the same type of clipper, man. So it doesn't matter what you use. It's all about the barber, not about the machine. So yeah, man. So in December 2019, my mom bought me my first pair of clippers, and I started cutting my little brother Carmelo on the 25th of December, which was Christmas Day. And that was my first time ever cutting anyone. And I was cutting constantly. I was working 2 jobs at the same time. And besides that, working 2 jobs, cutting, trying to work my best out, you know, like working those jobs, I was able to buy my first pair of Magic clips, which was my first professional clipper ever. After that, I was able to cop the Slimline Pro LIs, which was my first professional trimmer ever, and the small, super small ring light, something similar to what I got right here, you know, but just something, you know, for the back porch and stuff. I was cutting on a dinner table chair, and I freaking small table in the back porch and stuff. I had a towel with all my stuff set up. I was just super freaking proud of what I had made and what I had worked for, you know. So besides the fact of that, you know, I was just still trying to find myself. I was watching the 7 to 8 hours of barber YouTube videos, tutorials, 360G, Z2 45, Sean Claire, all those guys, you know, Mario Bennett, Chris Bossio, and they all got me to get interested in this stuff, man. And I always liked photography and videography and stuff, so I guess the YouTube kind of just fit right into that. So at this point, I know what I want to do. I know I want to be a barber. I'm getting ready to think about school and all this stuff, and I end up quitting both my jobs, and then the pandemic hits, and then now we're in freaking quarantine, right? So actually, before that, I left out a really important part. I met the love of my life in February of 2020. I met the love of my life. Her name's Karina, and I also started at a shop in February as well. Started my first shop job. So I started cutting hair in December of 2019. February of 2020, I started cutting hair in a shop, man. So you can see within 2 months' time, I had made so much progress that I was able to cut in the shop and actually start making some money doing what I love to do. Of course, there was those days when I sat there and I got straight goose egg zeros and stuff. So, you know, yeah, man, besides that, you know, that's what brought me to being a barber and stuff. And then when quarantine hit, and I came over to my girl's house, and we spent the whole quarantine together, and now we basically kind of, you know, are always around each other and stuff. So by the time quarantine lifted up and we were able to go back to the shops and stuff, and I ended up leaving the shop I was at because I just didn't feel like I was getting enough traction there. I wasn't getting enough traffic, walk-ins and new clients and stuff. So I left that place, and I ended up going to the shop that I'm currently still at, and it was just a way better switch, man, way better atmosphere, way better shop owners, and, you know, communicating and stuff, and just being able to have a better situation overall, you know, constantly upgrading and stuff. That's that. I'm currently at that shop right now and stuff. August of 2020, I started dating Karina, and we've been together now for 5 months. We made 5 months yesterday, actually. The 7th of January made 5 months, and then next month we'll make 6, obviously, around Valentine's Day. Actually, our date that we ever first started talking was February 7th, and that's our 6-month anniversary, our 6-month anniversary, so to say. Yeah, man, and then I started school in September, so the month after me and Karina started dating, I started school at Jukutzz. And, you know, just the next step in taking this barber thing seriously. You know, I have to get licensed, I have to be professional, I have to learn how to stay clean, I have to know how to do every cut, I have to know how to do women's cuts. I decided to go to Jukutzz because they teach you women's, men's, they teach you manicures, facials, they teach you color, bleach, or lightener, and all the extra stuff that a regular barber school might not teach you. So me becoming a barber stylist was what I wanted to do, because I could expand my services and not only make more money but make more people smile. You know, it's always that passion over profit thing that Vic Blends is always talking about, and I really take that to heart, because that is the truth, man. It's a passion for me. I don't do this. I'm never working when I'm cutting hair. It's what I love to do. Also in September, I started school September 9th. September 25th, my brother committed suicide. My 16-year-old brother committed suicide. And that was really, really tough for me. It's still really, really tough for me. It's still really fresh, because it's only been almost 4 months, and that really, really hurt me. And he was the first person I ever cut, and my little cousin Nyla was the second person I ever cut. So just that really, really hurt me, man. And then to top it off, not even a week after my little brother's funeral, they stole my all gold clipper case, which I had my cordless masters, which my mom bought me for my birthday this year, or last year. I had my Slimline Pro LIs, which were a part of my kit since I started. They stole my Andis shaver, the regular Andis shaver, my silver FX Babyliss trimmers, the hitters, you know, the skeletons, and all my shears, my nice combs, my magnetic guards from my masters, everything, man. Everything that I worked so hard to get, they took from me in a matter of hours. So at this point, my brother passed away, my clippers were stolen, and I was just ready to really give up on this. And God just told me, he was like, remember, like, I don't know, he just touched me and he made me think about something, and he was like, remember that those two were the first people you ever cut with these clippers, right? And those two will be the last people you ever cut with those clippers. And he took them from me, and that really like started making me think and stuff. And not even a week or two after that happened, my teacher, Mr. E, reached out to one of the Babyliss educators, Los Cut It, and he came out to the school, to the campus, and he brought me a whole new set of Gold FX Babyliss clippers and the Gold FX Babyliss trimmers. Man, he gave me a mat, some barber grips. He gave me the clipper sleeve, so that they can be protected in your case as you travel. He gave me those. Hold up. I didn't give a big enough shout out to Los Cut It, man. Los, thank you so much, man. Like, this meant the world to me, bro. You don't even understand, bro. And if you're watching this, I just want you to know that you're really killing the game out there, man. No matter what age you are, no matter who you are, what skin tone you have, man, you're really influencing the youth, man. You're really influencing the upcoming barbers and the upcoming artists and photographers and everybody, man. You're really doing a big thing for us, and I just thank you so much for that. All right, back to the video. Listen, then for Christmas of 2020, my girl got me the Vibe FX massager, and for our 4-month, I believe she got me the Gold FX shaver. So my whole goal set is complete now. I love it. It's better than anything I've ever had before. So it was kind of like a loss, but a win at the same time. So that happened. After my brother died, it was just like 3 straight months of like grinding and, you know, knocking out the essentials portion of my schooling, which was just a classroom portion, book work, every day. And then I moved on to the floor. When I moved on to the floor, it was like a different atmosphere and stuff. And then I think like a week after I moved on to the floor, then my grandma passed away from COVID-19. And that just really topped off 2020 for me, man. You know, Christmas wasn't the same. My family just wasn't in the mood, you know. It wasn't the same as it used to be. And that's how 2020 kind of ended for me, man. So I ended it on a bad note, but with a good mindset going into 2021. Yeah, man. So up to now, that's pretty much, you know, the overview of my story and stuff. So that's that. And I know in the last video I said I would talk a little bit about the meaning of the barber pole and what the barber surgeon was. So a barber surgeon were barbers were in Middle European times were asked to assist the clergy in bloodletting and dental procedures and medical procedures, which deemed them the title barber surgeon. And then asked to do these things because of the steady hands they have. And as a barber, you have to have super steady hands. You have to have the right you know, like you have to be able to see very well, you know, and not be able to mess something up. So that's why they were asked to assist the clergy in doing that stuff. Then the barber pole. The reason I got the barber pole on the side of my neck is because the meaning behind it. Everybody thinks the barber pole just automatically popped up out of nowhere when in reality it didn't. So when barbers were considered barber surgeons, they used to do a procedure called bloodletting, and it was cutting the arm open and letting out a prescribed amount of blood from their doctor to the clients in order to help regenerating new blood and stuff throughout their system. And the original barber pole came from when they would wrap the bandages around their arm. They would obviously get bloody, the white bandages. Then they take the white bandages that are bloody and they hang them out to dry. Sanitation wasn't really a thing back then, you know, like nobody really cared about that, so it really didn't matter. But they would hang it on a pole that sat outside of the barber shop, and then as the wind blew, the bandages would wrap around that pole, therefore creating the red and the white that you see on the barber pole. Later on, when barbering got to the US and the US started forming and stuff like that, they added the blue for the vein. It represents the vein that the blood came from, obviously. So that's where the red, white, and blue come from. And it's so deep that even the caps on the barber pole have a meaning. The top cap was used to hold the leeches that were used to stop the blood after doing the bloodlet. And then the bottom cap was the cap used to catch the blood from the bloodlet. So those are the two caps, and that's the reason why I got it on my neck. It's just a way deeper meaning, and it's not just a barber pole. It's not just a tattoo for my liking. It's something way more deeper than that. If you like this video, go ahead and drop a like, comment, and a subscribe if you're not already subscribing. Smash that like button, man. It really means the world to me to be able to help you guys a little bit with my story. This is who I am. I'm Jukutzz, and yeah, man, you know what I'm doing. You already explained this to you guys over and over again, and I'm not gonna do it too much more, but you already know how I'm beaming, man. And yeah, 2020 is about to be a whole new turn up, man. The year the Tom story will come up.